And good evening, everyone, from Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. It's the Al Holland Jr. Show, and Coach, welcome in, and a good week for us.
Yeah, it's a big week for us to get back on track, to get a big win in front of a great crowd, and a little warmer weather this past Thursday night compared to the week before. It was like daylight and dark, but the humidity was high. But kids came ready to play, and a great effort by our young men this past Thursday night.
Talk a little bit about it was a tale of really two halves, the first and the second. Just talk a little bit about the first half.
Just right there, a few plays away from opening that thing up in that first half. Defensively, didn't get off the field on third downs. Gave up some third and long opportunities, and we're in position, just didn't make the plays. And we got to go get the football and to make those plays. So, we really talked about that at halftime. Offensively, left some big plays out there on the field and didn't finish. We sat there and talked at halftime and talked about that situation and said, guys, hey, we sat here a week ago in the same type situation, letting the team hang around. I said, how are we going to handle this? I said, did we learn anything from a week ago? Are we any more prepared for this second half this week? I said, are we going to open this thing up and go out here and play and, play with a chip on our shoulder this second half and be ready to go and let's finish a ball game compared to the week before, as in we sort of just let Kaiser hang around. Next thing you know, you're in overtime, and then, hey, you end up with a loss. But very proud of our young men. They continued to fight and, made big plays in that second half and came to life and started supporting each other and then got some momentum. And when you get that momentum, big things happen for you.
Talk about that spurt there in the second half. I think it was a little over 7 minutes to go, down 17-14. Trayvon Wolford comes on. You scored 28 unanswered points. Just talk about that transition there during that period.
Yeah, he had a nice series in the first half and got down there and just sort of aimed the football on a throw that he made and ended up getting intercepted, a pass out there to Alex Shelton, one of our freshmen, and instead of just throwing that ball on out there and letting me go get that thing, tried to aim it, and first game sort of jitters and getting more into it. And we talked about it last week. We was going to play him early in the game and then play him in the second half because got to get some experience there. And, he moved the ball well for us in that first half. Came in there in that second half. It was his time to play and took advantage of that opportunity. We just sort of rode that momentum and continued to let him play and did a heck of a job for us that second half, making plays with his legs and with his arm. Had 178 yards rushing and then turned around and was, 3 of 4 for 2 touchdowns, had 4 touchdowns in that second half and was big for us offensively.
52-23 over Livingstone. Yep. Let's look at some of the highlights of that game.
Yeah, some great ones this past week. Giovanni's was our host sponsor for our tailgate this past week. Did a great job, and looking forward to a big one this week with Texas Roadhouse coming in. A great crowd out at Hambly this past week, and we sure do appreciate all the support from our local fans. We know it's tough, on them Thursdays, getting off work and then getting out there, but we appreciate it. Great job by X Willis early in the game and this punt return team. Hey, making a nice catch here, not letting that ball roll and getting that thing down the field, giving us a short field right here, to later on here set up this next play, which ended up being a fourth down. It was a little bit out of field goal range. Bo put this ball up there where Artis Clark could go up and get it, and you'll get to hear from Clark in a little while and talk with him. Did a heck of a job going up and getting the football. This was early in the game. Trayvon, his first series there, and making a nice run with his feet. The great thing is you got X Willis and Willie McLeod. Both were all conference guys, and then, hey, now it makes them have to be true to us out there. And nice throw here by Bowen Smith, the senior Jordan Owens, on a nice catch there and for a touchdown. Here was in this third quarter right here, as we talked about, this was a big third down right here. Didn't have nothing down the field, took off, trying to make something out of it, and got a nice first down to continue to move the chains for us. And that's something that he brings to the table with his legs. And then here, just a true little zone read type play for us, and a nice play by Trayvon and finding Anthony Brown, another senior wide receiver for us. Cedric Thomas with one of his 2 picks. He had a heck of a spurt there during camp and went 3 or 4 days straight there with the pick every single day. He's got energy, and he's a fun little freshman to watch. And then Brandon Gibson right here, another freshman running back. Hey, going to be a good one. Lowers that shoulder and continues to drive those legs and find his way to getting in the end zone for his first career touchdown there. Here's another pick right here by Cedric Thomas here in that second half. And, these are big plays right here. And when you create those turnovers defensively, it brings a lot of energy to this football team. Here's another opportunity. Hey, you going to take Trayvon away? You're going to take X Willis away? Both those guys, bring a lot of speed to the table for us offensively. So this offensive line continues to gel and do a heck of a job. And that's a veteran group up front, and that leadership up there. Not many seniors on that offensive line, so Matthew Fields played some sparingly role this past week, but a lot of sophomores, juniors up there that's played a lot of minutes. It's been big, and Trayvon with another big run right here, and guys blocking down field for him, but brings a lot to the table. He breaks A.J. Graham's record for 21 yards a carry for the highest average in a game. So, a heck of a week by him, and very proud of him. And just like I talked to him about, and I talked to the whole football team, I said, guys, now how are we going to handle some success? We had a great game. We made plays this week together. We had a big second half, and, how are we going to bounce back this next week? Are we going to be humble and be ready to play, or, are we going to let that go to our head? So we've had a great week of practice to start with.
Great win for us, and we'll be back with more on the Al Holland Show after this short timeout. And welcome back in to the Al Holland Jr. Show. We're now joined by Jason Jones, a junior transfer out of California, a defensive end, or a wheelbacker, as we want to call. But, Jason, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit of background on you and where you came from.
I was born and raised in Orange County, California. Went to a junior college, Santa Ana. Played 2 seasons there and transferred here in the spring. It was a big change. It's the first time I've ever seen it snow. And then this is my second semester here, and I love it here.
Just talk a little bit about your decision to come here and what really influenced you to come to Pikeville.
I mean, I had a lot of offers coming out of my JUCO, but this just appealed the most to me, and it was farthest from home. This is the farthest I've ever been from home. But I'm glad I made this decision.
Talk a little bit about this area and your thoughts on just the mountains and being out of, for a lot of kids coming in, it's kind of a culture shock thing.
Yeah.
But just your thoughts on this area and the people of this area.
The first thing I noticed were the people were a lot nicer, a lot friendlier, a lot easier to talk to. Then the second thing I noticed was the weather. Get to all the seasons here for sure. I've never seen it rain in July or August, and it's happening a lot here. But yeah, it's a lot of green, a lot more than I'm used to. But yeah, I love it down here.
Right. Talk about some of the guys on the team and how they accepted you and how that transition's gone.
Right away, I had a close friend group and just fit right in, hit the ground running here.
Yeah. Of course, week 1, we lose to Kaiser, a tough loss. Maybe just talk about some of the changes that were made between that week and last week's Livingstone game, especially for you guys defensively. What did you all guys kind of work on more?
We didn't work on too much technical stuff differently. I think it was just a new mindset, kind of a wake-up call, I'd call it. But, it was a different mindset out there.
Tell me what you do as an individual to better your game. What do you work on and study? And
I just focus on my job and play selfless football. If I know I'm doing my job and my brother next to me is doing his, I think we'll be all right.
Talk about, of course, obviously this week Bethel. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at them or not.
Yeah, a little bit.
So what do you think they bring to the table that's going to be more of a challenge than, say, the first 2 games?
I think they're a little bit better coached. I see their running plays a lot more smoothly, I feel like. But it's just like any other week. We just prepare for it, and we'll be all right.
Talk about Coach Al Holland and his staff and what he means to you personally, having you come so far. How has he helped that transition for you?
He was right there from the beginning, gave me his personal phone number. Anything I needed, just call him, and he was really opening and just helped me out whatever I needed.
Okay. What about you guys when you're not on the field and not practicing? What do you guys kind of do to kind of relax during the week to prepare for a game?
Well, there's not much relaxing during the week, but when we do, we just hang out with our brothers, just always stay together.
Is it tougher for you to prepare for a Thursday game than it is a Saturday, or is it really
It's about
kind of
the
the same?
same. We practice on Sunday and just shifts everything over a day.
Yeah. What do you hope that in your next couple of years here at Pikeville that you can accomplish individually as well as team?
I mean, I hope I could prove the coaches right for recruiting me here. I just hope to do the best of my ability and make my parents proud, and that's about it.
Okay. How about the defensive unit as a group? How much do you think you guys have improved from week 1 to week 2 and now going into week 3?
I mean, we've had some few injuries, but
Of course, losing Brown was huge. And
the younger guys just step right up, and I think we've gotten closer as a unit as time goes on. More trust in each other and playing more selfless.
yeah, I know Chris went down last
Yeah.
week, and for a while that was kind of touch and go. But, you know, injuries are part of it, and teams just have to overcome adversity, and usually you do that. Talk about the season and what you hope this football team can accomplish by the end of the year.
Well, this is my first season with these guys, and I'm loving every bit of it, but I just hope we could keep rolling this ball, keep going.
Good deal. Jason, it's good to have you with us, and we'll see you Thursday night, buddy, out there against Bethel. Welcome.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more on the Al Holland Show right after this timeout. And welcome back into the Al Holland Jr. Show, live here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. We're now joined by Artis Clark, a first-team all-conference player for the U-Pike Bears. And Artis, big game for you last week. Just talk a little bit about your performance.
I mean, it was really much my teammates, do their assignments, and me just chipping in my little part to help the whole team accomplish the same goal that we're trying to accomplish. I made a couple good plays, capitalized on my moments that I had, and I just did what I had to do.
The first half, it's kind of a tale of two halves. The first half, offensively, we were bottled down a little bit. Just talk about the difference when Trayvon come into the game in the second half, and we had a spurt of 28 unanswered points.
Yeah, Trayvon played a big part in our win last Thursday. He played a big part in it. He just came with that energy, and we just rode the wave with him running the ball or him passing, and we just got on his back and went on with it.
This week, of course, Bethel, another Thursday night game.
Yes, sir.
Have you had an opportunity to see them on film and maybe just talk a little bit about them?
Oh, yeah, we watched plenty of film. That's all we've been doing, just watching film on them, trying to see what our game plan was going to be. We've just been locked in, keyed in on what's going to be going on this Thursday and trying to capitalize on what kind of scheme we're going to run against them. And we've just been doing that pretty much.
Offensively, talk a little bit about how you guys improved from the Kaiser game to the Livingstone game, and maybe just some of the things you all worked on harder that week.
Definitely, we've worked on hard, like finishing drives. We've worked on how to get first downs, because first downs equal touchdowns, and you get touchdowns, we end up scoring and winning the game. And from Kaiser, we've learned from not letting the team that we know we should be up ahead of and not letting them hang around till halftime, and then they come back and get their second win of energy and come back to stay with us in the game. So we've been working on that and practice a lot. So it's been an eventful week for us.
Football is really a game of streaks,
yes,
and it seemed like once you all got the momentum and got going, it seemed like everybody's energy excelled. Is that the way it usually works? I mean, you excel off each other?
Yeah, that's how we always wanted to be. We always want to carry on that energy and that wave, so we just want to continue cheering our brothers on and want to just keep that energy going on the sidelines, whether it's on offense or defense. So we just try to help our brothers out either way we can.
Talk a little bit about your week and how you prepare for each opponent. And is the Thursday game any different for you than it is, say, a Saturday, or is it the same routine?
I wouldn't say it's a different routine. I still keep the same habits that I always have. I get on the jug for a couple minutes, catch a couple balls, work out a little extra, hit a little more weights or something. And I watch film a lot. That's the main thing we got to do is watch film. We constantly watching film. So the Thursday to Saturday game is the same week.
Talk some about your conditioning and what you did during the off season to improve your game as a U Pike Bear?
Conditioning is the main thing, being a receiver. Conditioning, I ran pretty much a lot. Running, conditioning-wise, stamina-wise, to keep my stamina up to play a long time in the game, whether it's regular regulation or overtime. Just got to be ready for all type of situations, whether it's 2-minute or last-minute Hail Mary. It is just got to be prepared for everything.
Does the game change a lot if say you got Bowen in at quarterback compared to Trayvon? Is there a difference in the offense, or is it pretty much really the same thing?
Well, it's not really a difference because they both can come in and do the same thing and get the job done. Well, with Trey, it's just you just got to be prepared for everything. 'Cause I know he really sprouted this week and showed out for real. And Bo, he can get the job done too. It's just a different way that he shows his talents, and both of them can definitely get the job done and be a starter for us.
Is it a timing thing with receivers, with quarterbacks? I mean, do you work on that a lot, like patterns and routes, and does it really come down to just timing?
Yeah, we definitely do a lot of passing, like routes on air. We got to get our timing down because without the time, and the routes won't be on time, and you just won't be anything without time. And both quarterbacks, it don't matter down to the fours. Like everyone has to have that timing down. Whether you're on the fours or ones, twos, it doesn't matter. Like time is a big thing with it.
Okay, defensively now for Bethel, what challenges do they bring to you as a receiver, or do you just mainly stick with what you do, or is their defense a little different than what we've seen so far?
Their defense, it's kind of a little bit something similar we've seen before, so it's not really nothing we haven't prepared for. But yeah, we just go where we can see off of the film and just correct on the sideline after we come on the sideline. Just do corrections and see what we're seeing on the field and relay back to the coaches and just feed off each other and see what we can come up with.
Tell us a little bit about what you like to do when you're away from the field to relax. And
away from the field, I just like to I like to stay active. I don't like to race around and just not do nothing, because you always can help yourself to better yourself and be prepared for any type of situation. So I like to stay active and just like to do a lot of stuff. It varies from whatever I feel like doing, for real.
Artis, we appreciate it, and good luck this week against Bethel. We'll be back with more on the Al Holland Jr. Show after this timeout. And back here one final time tonight at Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville, the Al Holland Jr. Show. And, Coach, this week, Bethel. Talk a little bit about them.
Good football team. They open the week of the season. They host Reinhardt, which is number 2 preseason in the country, and Reinhardt coming off of a losing in the championship game a year ago. So that's a big win for them at home. They knocked them off at home, but it's a very athletic team. A new head coach. He's doing a heck of a job. Brought a great recruiting class in with them, and some transfer guys that you sort of notice on that roster, with some returning guys that played some significant minutes for him a year ago, and it's got them playing with a lot of energy and creating turnovers, defensively and special teams wise, and then offensively, making the big plays. So we're going to have our hands full this week, and it's a really good football team coming in here to our house, and we got to be ready to play for 60 minutes and to execute this week. Talk
about the improvements that you saw from the Kaiser game into the Livingstone game. What were you most pleased with?
Just some little mental errors and finishing blocks up front with their offensive line. Just throwing and catching, and just little things on the perimeter for our wideouts and quarterbacks. A little bit better timing this past week that created some big plays for us. And then our running game continues to develop. But you've seen some new guys sort of shine this past week, and Willie McLeod didn't play. X had a nice solid game again for us. But then all of a sudden you see some new names pop up, and Darius Gibson showed up in the stats there. So had a nice run. But Dylan Wheatley continues to be a big part of this offense. He's going to be a special player in this offense. So, Tellus Kennedy, makes big plays for us special teams wise, and got some carries this past week. And so Shannon Cozart had a nice little catch out of the backfield. So those guys continue to push each other day in and day out and to get better. But we got to continue to develop. So, and then defensively, Coach is doing a great job. We've had some injuries over there, and that makes it tough. But sometimes, hey, we end up having our best coaching jobs and best years whenever, hey, you're having to, really hone in and get guys to buy in even a little bit more and pay more attention to some details. So those guys, as even we play with some youth, but those guys are growing up on the fly, and you can tell they're a week older in the defense and getting better and better and playing fast. But if they're playing fast, great things will happen for them, especially on defense.
Injury-wise, where's this football team at this week?
Well, it's day-to-day with Bradley Cleveland, our middle linebacker. So, hoping to get him back here for this game this week. Just don't know on that one. And, Josh Irvin went out with an ankle injury this past week, so he's day-to-day as well. So he may be a game-time decision and whether he's full go or not. So, and then, Chris Dublin went out in the game this past week, and, he's doing really well and has his checkup with the doc this afternoon. So, he's another day-to-day type guy, and maybe not this week, but you may see him next week. So, but, just his safety is our number one priority and taking care of him. So, that's tough for us is losing those guys and losing T. Brown 2 weeks ago and out for the season. That's a real hard one to swallow. So,
talk about Bethel. I'm sure you've sat up late at night watching a lot of them. What mostly concerns you about them as a football team?
Well, I mean, they're sound in special teams. Offensively, got a great scheme, and going to try to get you out leveraged and try to create their big plays, but you're going to have to play fundamental football against them, and you got to get lined up fast. You got to make tackles. Many of their big plays a week ago was, hey, a broke tackle here or there, and a lull you to sleep and hit the big play over top of you. So, just basic fundamentals that's going to have to be sound for us. And special teams is going to be a difference in the game. They take a punt to the house a week ago. So when you're getting points off your special teams, that's huge in a ball game. So we can't allow that this week. We got to hone in and play for 60 minutes. And offensively, hey, we got to control the clock and to move the football and create our own big plays. But those are going to come. You don't have to wait for always looking over your shoulder for somebody else to make the big play. Hey, we got to go out there and make every play and be in position to make plays. This
season, obviously, the tailgate's changed up a lot. Yeah. Maybe just talk a little bit about this week's sponsor and what fans can expect.
It's been a huge opportunity for our community to get involved and really appreciate all the support. This past week we had Giovanni's that did a heck of a job with it. The week before was Jimmy John's. This week we bring Texas Roadhouse in. So Texas Roadhouse will be there at Jimmy John. I mean at the tailgate for us this week. So make sure you're there. It starts at 5 o'clock. I know some of you not getting off till 5, so try to get there and early. The first 400 people that get there get to eat for free. So that's really nice and a nice little snack there for pregame. So get out there and bring your family and bring the kids. Let them play around. Cornhole going on out there. We also got Chick-fil-A that's now out there at the game selling. So they, another extension of campus coming out there with, Airmark and Food City doing a great job for us, and Pepsi as a big supporter of us year in and year out. So, come out and enjoy the time, and it makes it nice. Hey, you can get right off work, come out and get you a nice snack before the ball game, and then watch a great football game on Thursday night this week.
Al, we appreciate you, and good luck Thursday night,
sure
and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yep, thank you.
For Coach Al Holland, this is Teddy Painter, and we'll see you next Tuesday night live here from Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. Until then, good night.